Welcome back to another video on Influencer Sports, and today I'll be doing my PVF awards show. And these is everybody that I think should win these awards. This is the second season of the Pro Volleyball Federation. It's my first season watching it though, so it is 4 awards that I decided to go with that I felt were the most important: MVP, Rising Star, Server of the Year, and Coach of the Year. Those are the 4 awards I will be discussing and giving my thoughts and opinions on who I think should win and why, and giving my 3 or 4 candidates for each award. And I've been covering the PVF all season long. I made a few shorts, talked about it on my podcast, Weekly Sports Talk with Ed, live every Saturday at 12 p.m. Central. And I will be having, more volleyball content, more content in general. And this week, it's going to be uploads every day, whether that's wrestling, basketball, volleyball, through shorts, videos, community posts. Just make sure y'all tuned in, make sure y'all sharing the content and things of that nature. Make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and let me get into the PVF and really talk about this season. And I'm gonna dive deeper into some stuff during when I do my playoff predictions. But to start with the first award, the Coach of the Year, it's really just 3 candidates because only 3 teams finish above 500, and only 4 teams out of 8 can make the playoffs. The only team in the playoffs that didn't finish over 500 was the India Ignite with a 13-15 record. I have Amy Polly, the coach of Orlando, leading them to an 18-10 record. They finished 3rd in the league this year. Kayla Barnworth led the Atlanta Vibe to a 19-9 record. They placed 2nd in the league this year. And Laura Kahn led the Omaha Supernovas to a 21-7 record, and they held first place mostly all of last season. Omaha, again to them now, since they did have the best year, they're the only team with a 75 win percentage, only team to win over 20 games this season, went 21-7, was hot throughout the entire season. They never really looked bad. So this team, they very well could win a championship, and they have looked great all year. So I definitely have to give her credit for that. Caleb Barnworth leading Atlanta to a 19-9 record. This team started the season 6-8. They were at the bottom. They were one of the worst teams in the league through the first half of the season. In the second half, after that first 14, they went 13-1 in their last 14. And they won 13 straight. They lost their last game of the season because their playoff spot was already secured. So they already had 2nd place, and they couldn't have got 1st. So their last game didn't even matter. So they played their main women. They probably win that game too, but they're on a hot streak. They've won 13 of their last 14, and they're finishing 2nd place. And then Amy Polly for Orlando finishing 18-10, finishing in 3rd place. It could have been better because this team was better than the Vibe for a hot minute, but the Vibe got hot at the right time. Orlando started losing a few games, and the Vibe was able to take control of it. So I do have to give Caleb Barnworth, the coach of the Atlanta Vibe, the Coach of the Year award, in my opinion. Going on a 13-1 run, on a 13-1 streak, winning 13 straight. I don't think nobody expected that because it really just took a few changes to the lineup and some few moves, and they were able to turn the season around just like that. So I do have to give it to her for having a phenomenal coaching year. And Laura Kahn, she had a great year as well, but that story of going 13-1 in their last 14, I just have to give it to that, and that's just my personal opinion. As far as now, Server of the Year, this is a good one because there's 4 candidates for this, and I think the Vibe with how hot they were, they have 2 candidates for this award. You have Leah Edmond and Pia Timmer. Leah Edmond playing in 113 sets, with finishing with 41 aces and 0.3 aces per set. But also Pia Timmer, she played 92 sets, finished with 24 aces and 0.26 aces per set. They were just really good in setting up their teammates, getting the game started and putting them in positions to win consistently, especially in the second half of the season at a more consistent rate. Like Leah Edmonds, she was good all year long, and there's so many positive things I can say about Leah Edmonds and how good she has been. And this is just her as a server, because there's another award up here that I have Leah Edmonds as a nominee for, and I could very well see, like I said, her, Pia Timmer, they both had good years. Carly Sidner from the Grand Rapids Rise, They did miss the playoffs by 2 games, but she was great. She played in 111 sets, had 33 aces, 0.30 aces per set. She was phenomenal this year. She did all she could for the Rise. Obviously, it wasn't enough because they weren't able to make the playoffs. But them finishing 11-17 is not on Carly Findner. She set them up. So she set them up well so many times. I watched a lot of Rise games. The Fury and Rise, even though they both missed the playoffs, those were the two teams I was most intrigued in watching them. That's Columbus, the Columbus Fury, my favorite team. We finished 19-9. But aside from them, I was watching the Grand Rapids Rise heavy, and what Carly Findner was doing, being able to set things up, making the plays so they could get wins, so they could get points when they needed it. Just amazing stuff by her. But I had Natalie Foster from the Orlando Valkyries winning this award. I think her with 64 aces by the best in the league, playing in 102 sets, 0.63 aces per set. She was just good all year round. And the one thing these 4 women had in common is that they all had 20 plus aces. No, they're the only 4 women in the league this year to have 20 plus aces. So that's very impressive. But I think Natalie Foster was far and away the best out of these 4 when it comes to servers. The other 3 women that I named weren't bad. They're all valid candidates. But I think Natalie Foster was just so good this season in Orlando. They have to get rewarded for their efforts and how they were able to get to the playoffs this year, led behind what she was able to do. And that's not all she can do, because she's also a nominee for the Rising Star Award. And she has 64 aces, as I mentioned, most in the PVF, 44 blocks, had a 44.5 kill percentage, which is 3rd in the PVF. So not only is she getting it done, she's making sure that they're able to put points up so they can get these wins, try not to extend it to too many sets. And she's really just able to do it all. She's everywhere on the court, on the volleyball court. So she's doing it all for them. Cora Lewis from the Vibe. The Vibe, we're going to have multiple candidates with a season like that, with a turnaround like that. Cora Lewis, 236 kills, 44.9 kill percentage, 2nd in the PVF, 299 points, 21.5 kills per set. Just amazing work and what she was able to do. Like, this Vibe team, they're really good. They're really deep. They turned it on at the right time, and they have multiple award candidates, and very well all have chances at winning these awards. And I wouldn't be shocked if they did come away with a few awards. So it's more than 4 awards. These are just the 4 that I'm covering, that I feel like I have the most knowledge on to talk about after just watching one season of the PVF. And then you have Lydia Martin from the Indy Ignite, finishing with 158 kills, 49.1 kill percentage, which is the best in the league. And Indy did sneak into the playoffs at a 13-15 record. They needed to stay hot at the right time because they had the 4th seed for a little bit. So they had to hold on to it. She was able to help them do that with her kills, with her having a nearly 50 kill percentage. The second best was 45%. She's nearly at 50. She was at 49. So that's a marginal gap. Even though it's just 5%, that's still a big gap when it comes to volleyball and kill percentages. So her being able to just lead them to wins, being able to get the kills that she needs to help them get wins quicker and not extend it to too many sets. She was just amazing in doing that. So 158 kills over the season, nearly 50 kill percentage. So I am giving it to Lydia Martin for her leading the league in kill percentage, her having over 150 kills this year. And I think she is the rising star. But the other women I named, like Natalie Foster, she was great all year. I could see the potential because I think the first game I watched this season was the Valkyries game, and she looked great in that game. Cora Lewis, she done picked it up at the right time. Now, she's been good all year, but especially in that 13-1 stretch that they just went on in one of those games, everybody from that Atlanta team was on fire. But Lydia Martin is my winner for the rising star at the PVF this year. And then for the MVP race, it's 3 women. They're all on the teams that are above 500. Leah Edmonds, she is a nominee for an award once again. Just shows you how good she was. It just shows you how good this Atlanta team was. Like, they always had the pieces that the 3 women I've talked about for Atlanta. They were there all season. They just needed a bit of a few coaching changes, and they did it at the right time. Got hot at the right time, and there's the 2nd seed. And if they continue this momentum, they could win the championship this year. But that's not the video for this. But Leah Edmond, to read off some of her other stats, 3.6 kills per set, 41 aces, 310 digs, 4.39 points per set, 46 blocks, 496 points. Was great this year. And I talked about it earlier, how good she was setting up teammates, but how good she was at stopping the other team from what they were attempting to do. Her getting multiple points per set, that's nearly 5 points per set, and each set only goes to 25 points, unless she and it's win by 2, so unless it's 24-24 and it has to go extra points. But most sets is going to 25 points, and she contributed to 5 points per set, essentially. She had over 300 digs, which was very impressive. She had multiple aces, and we back. Apologize for that, but as I was saying, talking about Leah Edmond, with her having over 40 aces this season, not many people were able to accomplish that feat. Only a few people were able to do that. So Leah Edmond setting this team up, putting them in positions to win, and going on a late season run to get them into the playoffs. Very impressive stuff. My other candidates, Brittany Abercrombie from the Orlando Valkyries, 4.3 kills per set, 290 digs, 503 points, 4.75 points per set, 462 kills, and a 38.2 kill percentage. And the kill percentage is that is a really good kill percentage, and you're almost at 40%. Not exactly there, but it's close to it. 290 digs, contributing 503 points. I don't think anybody else. I mean, it's probably, but what she was able to do for Orlando, keeping them at bay, keeping them at 18-10, like it was never at. They finished with a 64 win percentage, and obviously they could have finished the season better. I think that's a team thing, not just from one person. They should have finished the season better and held on to that second seed. They weren't able to, but Brittany Abercrombie had a great season, and she was a great 4.3 kills per set. That is very impressive. And then for Brooke Nuneviller for the Omaha Supernovas with 3.7 kills per set, 348 digs, 413 points, 4 points per set, 3.5 digs per set, and 8 aces. Obviously, the aces weren't as much as the other two ladies had, but the digs, having over 340 digs on the season, had averaging 3.77 kills per set, and just some very impressive stuff, really, from all three of these women. And Omaha finishing as the first seed, they're not going to go this season without getting an award, whether that's Coach of the Year or MVP. But in my opinion, I do think Brooke Nuneviller was the MVP. I feel like she was the most consistent. I feel like she was always on the court. She was always contributing, even if she didn't get the aces or she wasn't having that effective of a game, or she wasn't doing as much as she usually does. She was always effective in these games, in my opinion. I think Leah Edmond with Atlanta started so cold that kind of hurts her case, because everybody on that team was kind of cold to start. Nobody was really impressive out the gates in that 6-8 start. Then Brittany Abercrombie, I think Orlando falling the way that they did from second to third, and her not being as hot towards the end of the season. I think Brooke was the most consistent out of Leah and Brittany. They were great all year long, but they had stretches where, they definitely could have been better. But I think Brooke was the most consistent out of all four of them. So to wrap this up, I have Brooke Nuneviller for the Omaha Supernovas for MVP. I have Lydia Martin from the India Ignite as the Rising Star of the Year. I have Natalie Foster from the Orlando Valkyries as the Server of the Year. And I have Kayla Barnworth of the Atlanta Vibe as Coach of the Year. Those are my awards for the PVF, the Pro Volleyball Federation, this year. Let me know what y'all think of this video. Let me know what y'all think of my awards. Make sure y'all leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and there's more content coming all this week.